Hello guys and welcome back to Life with Paulie. So it is currently October 23rd. It is almost 1 p.m. and as you can see here, Annabelle is eating. This is the back of my car and the twin size memory foam mattress topper I have in my car. If you're unfamiliar with my channel, I moved into my 2007 Saturn Ion until I save enough money to buy a minivan to turn into my tiny home. I was originally thinking about getting a minivan or an SUV, and then I was shooting more towards an SUV, but I think I'm going to shoot more towards the minivan. The reason being is because my car that I got here is a 2007 Saturn Ion, and the parts on this are pretty cheap, and so are the tires. As you can see here, they're like a regular size tire, so they're not very expensive. An SUV has got more expensive parts and it's got bigger tires, so of course the bigger the tire, the more expensive it's going to be. So I think I'm going to shoot towards a minivan to turn into my tiny home instead of an SUV. But right now I'm just cleaning out the car. I just got done vacuuming and blowing out the car because I do have the doggy, so I have to blow out the hair. Make sure I keep it clean because I got very limited space. As you can see here over in the corner, I got my clothes right there in the bag, and I got some food to the right, and I got some stuff over here. So I got a very limited amount of space, and I try to keep up on the car and clean it every day. Of course, I'm sleeping in it and stuff and living in it, so I need to keep it clean. I go to the laundromat and do my laundry. I change my sheets, of course, very often. Because of the simple fact is of the dog, and it does get dirty pretty quick. So I make sure I clean it out almost every day. Today is going to be almost 60, so that is good. And as you can see there, Annabelle is there. I just got to watch her because she was going into the woods a lot, and I noticed she was getting a lot of ticks on her. I found mega ticks on her, and I had to buy her a new collar that is a whole body collar for the ticks, because as you can see, I live out here on my daughter's property that she rents. My daughter rents that house over there. This is all her land, but as you can see here, there's lots of trees and bushes and everything that the doggy could go into. And at first she wasn't getting many ticks because she was mainly staying on the grass. But then she started going into the bushes, and I started noticing more. And I just recently had to pluck 3 more big ticks from the back of her neck. And I just don't like ticks, and I don't want them in the car, of course, because of the simple fact is that's not good to have. Ticks can cause disease and things like that, and I just don't want it. So I have to keep an eye on her. When she does try to go in the woods, I tell her to come here, and she listens to me. I love her. She's a very obedient dog. She'll listen to me when I say come here and not go into the bushes or the woods. So yeah, and I bought her a collar from a Hearts collar from Walmart. Now I did buy her one before, and it was only like 14 bucks, and it worked very well. This one I just bought again because she did lose her collar, and I didn't have one on her for a while. I could tell you right now, if your dog loses her collar or it's no good no more, go buy a new one. It's not worth the conflict to go through picking ticks out of your dog, especially when when they're like my dog, black and white, and got that black fur. It's very hard to see the ticks until they become bigger. So keep that in mind when you're out in the woods with your puppy, and you know that there are still ticks. It's about 50 something here, but it has been getting down to the 40s at night. It's supposed to get down to 32 at night in another week. If you don't know, I live in New York. I live about 10 miles from Catskill. Annabelle, no, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. See how she's snooping? She knows not to go in the woods. So she's like, oh, am I in trouble? No, you're not in trouble. I just don't want you going into the woods. Yeah, I live in New York, which is Coxsackie, New York, which is about 10 miles from Catskill, New York, the Catskill Mountains. And it's just about to turn winter here. So I'm getting ready for that also. But yeah, this is the mess that I got in my front seat. As you can see here, I got water, I got mouthwash and all that stuff. All that stuff goes right here. I basically took a box, a flattened box, and wrapped it in aluminum foil, and I got some boxes underneath it, and I set all my stuff on that, all my drinks and stuff on that, and food. And as you can see underneath the box, I have my jack. I had to put my jack on the back floor because I got lots of things in my trunk and it wouldn't fit in my trunk. So I put it on my back floor underneath where I store my, the little table that I made to put my food on and my drinks on at night. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm just going to finish this up. I just got done vacuuming the car and blowing it out. And I'm just going to continue to do this since the sun is out. As you can see there, the sun is out. Annabelle. Yeah, so I haven't been doing very much lately. I've been hunkering down and trying not to spend a dime. If you don't know, I moved in my car a few months ago, and I haven't been able to save a lot of money. I could tell you right now that living in a car or living in a van is not totally free. I just recently had to get my car inspected, and it costed me, they found out that my front tie rods were bad, so they had to replace them. That costed me $475 in order for them to inspect it and for it to pass. And now I have a check engine light on, and it's giving me a code of a vent valve. I purchased a vent valve and I purchased a purge valve for it, and both of them didn't change the code. The check engine light is still coming on. So I'm guessing it might be due to the fuel pump needs to be changed, but I'm not going to change the fuel pump unless it quits on me. I don't want to have to put another $500 into this when I'm going to be getting rid of it anyway. I would rather just drive it and then, not put that money in. I mean, of course, if the fuel pump goes on it, then I'm going to have no choice but to change it if I'm still living in this car and don't have enough to buy another vehicle. It's going to be a used vehicle just like this one was. This is a Saturn Ion, and I bought this about 5 or 6 years ago. No, actually 6 or 7 years ago I bought this. And it's been a pretty good car. It had some issues when I bought it from the lot. I bought it from a dealer, and they charged me almost $4,000. It was like $3,800 for this car. And when I bought it and took it off the lot, the check engine light was on. And he took it back several times to flush the radiator and stuff because he figured maybe that was why it was on. But no, it was the valve. So he had to take it back. I made him take it back. And he had to have the valves done on an engine, which cost him $1,000 something. So he had that done, and it was a pretty good running car. And it is a good running car. And I like it because this car is all plastic, except for the hood of the car. The hood, which you can see is up there now because I was checking some wires. The hood of the car and the top of the car is metal, but the rest of it is all plastic. The bumper, the side panels, the doors, all of that is plastic. So therefore, because it's plastic, you don't get much rust on that part of the car. However, it's very, very rusty on the bottom. I've already had the fuel lines replaced on this. They were rusted and rusted right through. I had new fuel lines put in. The brake lines are pretty rusted. They have not rusted through yet, and that's why I'm working on getting another vehicle, because I know sooner or later them brake lines are going to rust through. The whole frame of the car is rusted, and it's just really bad. Anybody that lives in New York or somewhere where you get a lot of snow and ice and they use salt on the roads and everything else, that you get a lot of rust on the bottom of your vehicle, and it rusts out. And it's only going to last so long. This is a 2007, so it's a pretty old car. It's only going to last so long before it's going to start falling apart on the bottom of the vehicle. And that's what this vehicle is doing. It's falling apart on the bottom. So I definitely need another one. Now, the van that I'm going to buy, it's going to be a used van, probably about $3,000 or $4,000 at the most. You could get a pretty good car if you're looking on like Facebook or Craigslist. Just make sure you don't get scammed on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. You always want to make sure that if you're buying a car, especially off of Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, never send money right up front. Never send deposits right up front. Never do any of that. Meet the person in person. See the car in person. See title in hand. See keys in hand. Okay? Make sure you do that. Do not ever send money through email or anything like that. If they say, well, I'm not in town right now, but I got a lot of offers on the car, in order for you to, look at the car and save the car for you, I need this much down deposit or whatever. Don't do that. If you can't see the car in person, you can't see the title in person, you can't see the keys in person, don't even mess with that situation, okay? Because you will get scammed. Facebook Marketplace has got a lot of car scams, and Craigslist has got a lot of car scams. And some of these scammers are even paying Facebook now for sponsored ads. If you see a car for sale and it says sponsored, that means they pay for an ad through Facebook, and Facebook is pushing out that car ad and promoting it, but it could still be a scam. So keep that in mind. The main thing you want to look out for too is people asking you to contact them through Gmail or another email service. If they don't want to do phone calls, anything like that, that's another sign. Do not ever contact anyone just through email. You want to be able to talk to the person, see the keys, see the car, see the title, and everything in person. Never send money over the internet, no matter what it is. If it's through email, Cash App, PayPal, whatever the case may be, don't do it. That is just my thing. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be looking for a car on Facebook or Craigslist, and I will be buying one. I know you can buy a decent one for a few $1,000s. You're not going to have a perfect vehicle, of course. If you buy one for $3,000-$4,000, there might be parts that it needs, or it might last a while and be very good, and then it may actually need parts after a couple months or a few months or 6 months. Then again, there's some cheap cars that you could buy or that you buy and that last for years and years without needing parts, without even needing brakes. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for a vehicle. But I'm going to let you go now because I don't want to make this video any longer. I will update you all in the near future, and I hope you're all having a great day. Please remember, support the channel for totally free by hitting the subscribe button down below. Thank you.